You guys put your hands together for Bebe Macklin in the building.
This is quite interesting, without a doubt. Do I need a microphone or not? Yeah. Okay, I'm just checking. Brian Macklin is my name, or Bebe, as some people call me. I am the founder, and that's me right there. I'm the founder of Dynamic Beverage Group and C-Town Brewing Company. South Seattle, Mount Baker, Genesee neighborhoods, family-friendly place where those locals can go, grab a beer, hang out with their friends, watch a football game, watch a baseball game, and just see what's going on in the world. You know, that's what it's all about. My traction, or should I say, I started this about 3 years ago. I started a lot longer than 3 years ago. Back in 2001, I started this journey. I sold beer for a small brewery called Lunar Brewing Company. I sold beer out of the back of my 1977 Ford Ranchero. Some of those know what a Ranchero is. And it was a lot of fun. I didn't hurt my back then. I hurt my back other ways, but we won't talk about that right now. At any rate, all the way from Snohomish up to Tacoma, I was selling beer out of the back of that truck. Had a lot of fun doing it, and it was very interesting, without a doubt. This building right here is called the Genesee Hall. It is located down in the Columbia City neighborhood, and this building was built in 1951. It has a deep history in the neighborhood, and one of the beautiful things about this building is that it's in a potentially ungentrified area that is changing rapidly. For those who know, right around the corner is Mount Baker neighborhood, which is one of the richest neighborhoods in the city. And the area is begging for something to happen in it right now, without a doubt. Right now, what we want to be able to offer the area is events, entertainment, quinceaneras, birthday parties, come down and watch the football game, the different things that you can normally do that you want to be able to do, but you don't have to go 2 miles to do it. So in this neighborhood right now, there are 4 restaurants, and this will come up again later, but there are 4 restaurants that are a mile or more walking distance from the Genesee Hall. So if we put something right there in that neighborhood, that's going to have people be able to get to the brewery, get to the brew pub, and enjoy themselves and have a real good time. What makes us unique and different is going to be the connection to the community. By being able to have these events at the brewery and to be able to sustain those events, and then as well have people be able to reach out and get them a beer. So I think that is going to be a pretty important thing to do. The Tam Sam Sam, $30 billion for the craft industry in 2024, $470 million for Washington State and Seattle, and in the in the Seattle area, South Seattle specifically, we're looking at about 2.5 million. One of the things that's really interesting is there's at least 17 small breweries in North Seattle, Ballard, Fremont area. Columbia City area has 1. So if you could put a brewery in a neighborhood like Mount Baker, Genesee, where it's a lot of relatively well-to-do folks, as well as just normal people that can come and have a beer and enjoy themselves, I think it's going to be successful. I could be wrong, but I think so. Traction to date, I've sold a lot of beer out of the back of my truck. I've been researching this for about 10, 15 years, and one of the things I feel like I know is you can look and see where people make mistakes, how they make mistakes, and those are the things that I want to try to prevent and be successful from the very beginning. What we have in the neighborhood is a growth strategy there. So it's going to be a situation where you bring your family, you bring your friends, you bring your auntie, you bring your uncle, and people will want to come back because it's a place even where you can bring your dog. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a beautiful place. I really feel strongly about it. The business model will be B2B and B2C. The B2B will be sales to grocery stores, restaurants, clubs, and one of the things I really want to try to get into is the sports venues. So we're going to jump to the very end. These are the 4 restaurants that are a mile away from the Genesee Hall. And we're looking right now for $300,000. That $300,000 is going to allow us to do trademarking, finish the licensing of the business, and to move forward with other potential investment that will be coming down the road. Please join us in building this excellent business with a lot of economic growth and a lot of economic potential. It's going to be a good thing. I feel very strongly about it myself. And as we like to say at the pub, what's in your mug? I'm Bebe Macklin. Thank you.
All right, all right. I'll take the clicker. You can just go ahead and
Questions. I'm ready to take it. Bring it on.
All right.
All right, Bebe. So I don't think I saw anything in your 300K for build out of the actual space.
True.
And so that's one. So if you could
Yes.
address that. And two, have you done any projections on how many patrons you anticipate in the physical space and what kind of revenue projections once it is doors open?
Good question. Excellent question, as a matter of fact. The build out will obviously be in the second round of funding. So with this initial funding, I'm looking at going to, say, Craft 3 and other organizations like Craft 3 to get additional funding for the remodel of the building. Because, again, the building was built in 1951, so it's going to need everything. One of the things I've always argued with myself about is, Brian, do we want to start a brewery or do we want to rebuild a bunch of old buildings? And unfortunately, we don't have the inventory on the south end that the north end does of old industrial buildings. So it's going to have to go into it and rebuild it. That being said, once it's done, to answer your question, I would think, and I don't have that right down pat, but I do have a spreadsheet that's pretty much nails on. My cousin is a CPA, and he looked at it and said, "Man, that's full on. The spreadsheet's full on." So I think we would be looking at, we open at 11 o'clock in the morning, close at 10 o'clock at night. You're going to have a decent amount of people coming through. Do I have a specific number for you? No, ma'am, I do not. That being said, again, if you're familiar with the neighborhood, you'll know that right across the street from where the Genesee Hall was the old Safeway. And one thing I'm really happy and excited about is there's going to be 2 7-story condos going up across the street from the brewery. That's going to be big, because people could just be able to come down, have a panini sandwich, have a beer, watch a football game, hang out with their friends, and really enjoy themselves. So I think that's a pretty important thing. I hope that answered your question.
So to piggyback off of Debrina's question, have you thought about just instead of having multiple rounds of fundraise, have you just thought about just putting together one round?
Indeed, I have. One of the persons that I talked to and invited, but I don't think he showed up, was Byron Robinson. So I wanted to try to work with him and his organization to see if we could just get the whole 5 to 8 million and just do it all at once, rather than trying to do it piecemeal. But sometimes you got to do things in steps.
So I heard a couple things here. One is about the brew pub itself and the facility. The other is about the beer that you're going to sell in supermarkets and stuff like that. Tell me about what you're thinking about how you're going to build and differentiate the brand of the beer that you're putting out into the market.
Excellent question, sir. Mark, thank you very much. One of the things that I have it's been in my head forever. I want to name the beers after city streets and Seattle landmarks and neighborhoods. One of the first beer I want to start out with is called Belltown Blonde. So it'll be a nice, easy drinking pale ale. A lot of times people, when I sold beer for Lunar Brewing Company, people would always come up to me and say, "Well, we want the light one," and it's like, okay, we don't do light beer, okay? Sorry, but that's the point of it. You have to be able to do light beer and do beer that other people are going to want to be interested in. Yeah, I like a big hoppy IPA, but not everybody likes that. So by naming the beers, I feel like after city streets and landmarks in Seattle, it's really going to tie the beer to the city. And it's funny because some people, a couple of brewers I know, they're like, "I don't know about that idea, man," but I'm like, Other people are like, man, that's a good idea. So I think it's really going to work. So I think that is where to go. And then again, like I said, sports venues I think is really important. If we can get into Safeco, we can get into the football stadium, Starfire, those sorts of places, especially with a light, easy drinking beer, is going to sell.
I had one other question.
Yes, ma'am.
And maybe it was up there on the slides, but I saw your competition of eateries like Ezel's and Little Red.
Yes, ma'am.
But did you also have something about your competition on the beer side? Did I miss that? And if it wasn't there, could you share who you perceive?
There ain't gonna be no competition. We gonna be it. I mean, there is nothing down there right now.
No, I mean other small craft
but
beers.
To honestly answer your question, so Flying Lion is down the street in Columbia City. It's about a mile or so from the Genesee Hall. Further down the road in Hillman City is Machine Head. Machine Head is like an English style beer, so you got to really be into English style beer if you want to drink at Machine Head. If you go the other way up on Beacon Hill is Perihelion. If you've never been to Perihelion, you should go. If I could just Xerox Perihelion and just slap it where the Genesee Hall is, we're gonna be making money because every time you go by Perihelion, it's packed. It's packed. People on the sidewalk, the doors are open, people are cooking, drinking, having a good time. So if we can repeat that in Columbia City, in Mount Baker neighborhood, people will come. And I know. And that one of my other silly statements I always say is, if we build it, they will come.
Y'all give Bebe another round of applause.
Thank you.
All right. You need a hand up, though?
I'm gonna do an old John Lee Hooker thing. Hang on.
All right.